Welcome to The Way with your best era hosts, Ryan McKeen and Brittany Green. The podcast where we dive deep into the world of legal business and marketing. So whether you're a lawyer, marketer, or business owner in the legal industry, this podcast is for you.
Hey, Ryan, how's it going?
It's going well, Brittany. How are you?
I'm doing good. The new Noah Kahan comes out tomorrow as of recording this, so we're both excited for that.
I am so excited. I really discovered him in my world like last year, and just everything about him. Like he strikes all the chords for me. Like he seems like a really stand-up guy. The music is so good. Just the Vermont thing. I love all of it. And what really got me hooked was Noah Kahan live at Fenway Park, which behind me, I've tried to pack as much Boston into
Yeah.
this frame as possible. So I've got Pearl Jam at Fenway. I've got Adam Vinatieri's Snowball Kick autograph poster down there, and I got my Tim Wakefield card, my Sox hat. So it is a full-on Boston episode for a good reason.
Definitely. I cannot wait. I'm very excited. We both watched his Netflix documentary this week, too, to get amped for it. That was also really, really nice, really sweet. Yeah, it really opened up even more, like you said. Just such a genuine person. He's so vulnerable, right? He's willing to sort of share his issues with us and the fans and the world. And I think that makes everyone better.
It does, because it's one of these things, like I'm watching it and I was like, please don't turn out to be a jerk.
Oh my
I don't
gosh,
want
yeah.
like in 5 years to be like, no
Yes,
Khan's a
please.
jerk, because then I will be completely.
Yeah. I'm hoping he's saved by that based off of the fact that Nashville was like too Hollywood, quote unquote, should we say, for him. And the scene there was like too much. And he, him and his wife, moved back up to New England where it's quieter and stuff. I have high hopes that he'll stay true to himself, it seems.
I have high hopes as well, and there's nothing in there to give me concern, but except that, like, I'm like, please be good. Like, please,
Yes.
please be the person I believe you to be. And yeah, no, I mean, his Tiny Desk concert was awesome. His promotion for the album is amazing. So if you are out there trying to market your law firm, he is now doing all these sort of like selfie TikTok videos. And in the background of these videos, as he's talking, are these little clips of new songs that he is teasing.
Yeah.
I mean, just so good. And, if you're out there and you're like, how does this apply to a law firm? And the answer is like law firms should tease things too.
Mhm.
So a lot of times, like what we did was like we would do, community events, right? And this is like a thing where the event shouldn't be a day, like the event should be a season. And it's the kind of thing like, hey, here's a picture, like here we are, what's coming, here's the swag that's come in, here's our tent. Tell your sort of story, build up, create a little bit of curiosity, then have the event and then post about the event that you had, as opposed to just doing the ribbon cutting or doing the backpack giveaway. So watch him. I mean, and again, like nothing he is doing out there is not replicable. Like it's literally like him with, his phone.
Exactly. Right. Yes. That's exactly what he's doing, right? It's not produced. It's not anything fancy. He's just point and shoot and click and post. And that's all you need to do. And
He's showing up too. Like I saw
right.
on Reddit, like he's doing a record signing at a local Nashville record store.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, show up where your people are. Really build that connection with your community. And yeah, you can listen to this and you could be like, well, it's easy to do when you're famous and one of the top rock stars in the world. True. But there are lessons there for you and for your community. And also, you don't need to be selling out Fenway Park as a lawyer 4 nights in a row. You need to be able to connect with your community. And that's a much, much lower burden. Like you need to be famous in your community, however it is that you define it. The town you live.
Well, yeah. And a good lesson in that, right, is, oh, yeah, I'm not Noah Kahan. I don't sell at stadiums. But right, the correlation is he understands, like you said, getting out there in the community and doing these smaller events, in the lead up to all of this. I know he was in a couple different places and sort of did pop up secret sessions essentially, right? Where he played for just very small, intimate room, acoustic, just a few of his new songs to get them pumped up about it. So even for someone who can sell out Fenway for what is it, 4 nights, 5 nights that he's doing, he's still taking the time to go in and playing those intimate rooms for his, most loyal fans, just like, yeah, you should be doing for your most loyal clients and referral sources because the effect is amplified, right? Noah understands that those people are now going to go on their TikToks and their Instagram and say, "Oh my God, you're not going to believe this album. It's so great. I just heard it live, first." And yeah, your raving fans are going to do the same thing. If you treat them to really nice, intimate moments, special moments, they're going to tell other people too in the same way. Yeah, the marketing works the same, whether you're Noah Kahan in Fenway or a law firm that's trusted in your community.
Yeah, and I was talking to one of our clients on my way in this morning, and they were talking. They were being to our own horn. They were saying that working with us was one of the best things that they've done, and they've charted a new path. They have clarity, but they were calling to tell me that they landed some really big, high profile case, a case that I was aware of just through local news reports. I didn't know who the law firm was, but they literally got it by showing up in their community, by showing up at an event, for an adjacent issue, showing up at to speak out on an issue. Like that resulted in them signing the case because the family who was there, like the family who was impacted by this, they were at the event. And again, like you couldn't I mean, I wish we could bottle that strategy and it would work, right? Because maybe you do it 100 times and it never happens. But all it needs to do is happen once. And it happened for this firm. And honestly, like life changing, it's a potentially life changing case for them and a trajectory changing case for their firm. And it really happened because they got out, they got into the community, they were being themselves, they're being genuine. I mean, Noah Khan doesn't pretend to be from Hollywood. He's got his dogs, his Lexapro. I mean,
I was going to say
he's
his
not
mental health.
he's got all of these things, but that's the same exact way on a smaller scale that it got connected. And look, music is incredibly difficult to market in, right? Incredibly crowded space. It's incredibly hard to make money as a musician. And what you have with, but you look at what some of the best in the business do. And Ed Sheeran last year showed up and played a bar in Boston for St. Patrick's Day. And then he
Yep.
showed up and played a bar in Nashville. And then there was a Mardi Gras parade in New Orleans. And he showed up and he played the Mardi Gras parade, right? And this is a guy who Noah Khan sells out baseball stadiums. Ed Sheeran sells out football stadiums. And this is how he is spending his time. And it's very intentional. Like it's not happenstance that these things happen. It is planned, it is part of a marketing campaign, and it is devastatingly effective, right? He's not doing Super Bowl commercials, he's not doing paid ads. He is being himself, he's having fun, he's showing up unexpectedly, he's bringing joy through music, which is what musicianship is about, and it's being shared on social media where everybody goes, "Wow, that's man, it'd be really cool like if we were out in a bar and Ed Sheeran just showed up and
And just
play." Like, I
showed up.
think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, you know what? They also kind of learned from some of the best, right? Because obviously, got to bring it back to my girl, Taylor. But, that's what she was doing for many of her album cycles, basically until COVID. All of her album cycles, she did those secret sessions, right? She invited her most loyal fans literally into some of her houses and would bake them cookies, from her secret recipes and yeah, sit them down and let them listen to the album early and talk about it and her process and she was still doing that, after 1989, right? Which everyone sort of thought that was going to be like the peak of her popularity because she was already selling out stadiums, then and she still kept doing it, right? She still keeps doing those little intimate moments. not as much anymore because of just who she is now and the global fan base she has now. It's a little harder to pull off. Ultimately, she still, finds ways to bring it back to the loyal fans and intimate moments. So, again, if the biggest billionaire, pop star in the world still understands that that part of marketing, then we all need to be doing it still, right?
No, and this is a very important topic because people think on social media that they need a million followers or they need a million views or they need to be everybody like walking down the street needs to know them or they need to have 100 referral services, 100 referring partners or something like that. By the way, I mean, Delisi Friday's presentation last week when we were in Cincinnati with Josh Hodges was amazing,
Not
fantastic.
Cincinnati, the amazing Hamilton, Ohio.
Hamilton,
Gotta
Ohio.
give
That's
gotta give
right.
it up for the actual hometown lawyer's hometown.
So it was a fantastic talk. So if you have a chance to go see Delisi talk about referrals, like there was some really great stuff in there. Uh, but you don't need 1,000 referring attorneys. And in fact, at Connecticut Trial Firm, like we probably had like 10,
Mhm.
10 reliable referral partners. And that was enough to really drive our business. And you don't, I always say to my law students, like, if, all you need is one client. You make that client happy, you do good work for them, and you tell them if you need anything or your friends need anything to call me. And like you can build a whole business by doing that, right? So a lot of times lawyers focus on what they don't have. I don't have this kind of marketing. I don't have billboards. I don't have TV. I don't have budget. I can't pay a big SEO company to come in and dominate. Think about what you do have. Think about what you have and also understand what you need isn't all that much. And I mean, this is a sort of to sort of prove this point. I mean, I was in church a few weeks ago and the priest talked about how, you know, all Jesus had was like 12 screwy disciples, right? No, but
Right.
it wasn't like he had an audience of like 1 million people to go out and spread his message. He's like his 12 disciples. And so think about those people who are close to you, who are supporters of you, who can help you, and keep engaging them to sort of grow your practice. And I think that that is a very viable way, especially in the age of AI, to distinguish yourself, to stand out, and to, again, like, are you going to have $100 million firm from this? No. But are you going to have clients you love, cases you want, and are you going to make enough money to pay your bills, take a vacation, and do okay for yourself? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And, another good lesson from, Jesus doing it, Noah Kahan doing it. You talked about our client that, had success here doing it. None of them, went out to their disciples and said, "Hey, preach about me to other people," right? None of them asked them to do that. All they did was provide real value, right, to these other people, and that was enough, So always think about how can you provide value to other people, whether it's education, whether it's entertainment, whether it's support in some way. Yeah, the message shouldn't feel like, because that's the other thing, right? We hear from clients all the time of, "No, I'm not good at feeling salesy and I don't want to come off that way," but it shouldn't. Right. In anything with interacting with your community, and giving back in some way, it should be about adding value. It shouldn't have to feel like you're just going out there to promote your business. So yeah, so I encourage you to find ways that you can give, give back to the people, that are going to be your loyal fans in that way.
Yeah, and be grateful, right? Like Noah Khan started, I'm sure, playing some small bar in his town, right? And
Right.
maybe his friend showed up, right? Be grateful. Don't think like, oh my gosh, I'm not playing at Fenway Park. Be like, I'm so happy that 5 people showed up to hear me play my music, right? Like that's what I love to do, and they seem to have a good time, and that's enough. And and I think it's always one of these things where people can look a lot about what they don't have and not focus so much on what they have. And like, look, we speak all over and we go all over, and sometimes there's a large amount of people, sometimes there's a small amount of people. And, I'm indifferent to that. I'm
Mhm.
just so grateful anybody would show up to give their time and money to try to learn from us, that I'm going to give everything I have to whatever crowd, whatever audience is there. And I think, if you adopt that approach, with an event or with social media or with anything it is that you're doing at your law firm, you're going to come out ahead. And, to sort of like bring Boston, Noah Kahan, value.
We've been sprinkling Easter eggs, I think.
We have that, but I could talk all about Noah Kahan. I mean, I am a
Oh,
super
I
fan.
know. Same,
I've been listening. He's going to be my number one artist on Apple Music this year by like far.
for sure.
And I've got his vinyl coming tomorrow. I got
Me
signed
too.
CDs coming. Like I'm going to see him this summer in Chicago. You're seeing him at Fenway.
Yeah,
Super excited about that. But to
very.
bring sort of all of this, sort of full circle, like we are doing an event. We're doing a Revolutionary Era event, which is going to be in Boston, I think on July 21st. Do I have that right? Good.
Yes, you are correct.
I'm not telling people the wrong day. So it's going to be at Suffolk University in Boston. It's a day, because I get so many people who have wanted to take my UConn law class. Well, there's only 18 people that can go in my UConn law class. And in fact, it wasn't, Brittany, they gave me a new room. It was in like the
Well, it's not
third
in that like
floor of,
weird library.
no, it was in the third floor of, it's a beautiful library. It's a nice classroom, but
Yes.
it's too small.
Yeah.
So they gave me a bigger lecture hall kind of thing
You're moving
for
up
next
in the
semester.
world.
Yeah, they're like, we'd love to have you back. Would you want to come back? I'm like, one condition, like I get to get out of this room because students have their back to me, some of them, and it's anyhow. So I'm getting a bigger room, but a lot of people are like, hey, I want to do this. And one of our things was like, maybe I could record my sessions at UConn Law. I can't because there are students in the class, and that's an educational environment, obviously. But I was like, I can't get excited to talk at a camera for the amount of time I'm a person who, give me an audience and I'm okay, but I can't do it. So what I've done is I've condensed all my UConn materials, all the handouts, putting all my lectures into a book that'll come out, and I'm teaching this class. Then I'm obviously giving the
Spark
TLDR
note.
version
Yeah.
of what I teach, but I'm going to touch on all the major things. I'm going to touch on, your mindset, setting up a business, the nuts and bolts. I'm going to talk about legal tech, going to talk about marketing, going to talk about finance, and going to talk about growth. And I'm going to pack as much as I possibly can into that. Also, thank goodness, I mean, Claude Design doing slides, by the way,
Yeah.
that makes my life
Those
a
look
lot better.
great.
But I'm gonna pull that material and I'm gonna put on a class, and we are targeting this to people who want to open their firm. Maybe they just opened their firm, and really if they're under $10 million in revenue, like you're gonna get something from this. I think that is valuable. We're working on the pricing, but the pricing is going to be very reasonable, accessible. Because it's a class, because I'm actually in a law school class, it's going to be like 64 people. Uh,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
small.
something like probably like 60 with you're gonna count, I guess, us being there. I guess we should probably go support you too.
Yeah, are we doing a live stream for this one, by the way?
We haven't decided on that yet. I'll have to the few things I guess we have to figure out is yeah, the tech involved available to us there. If we can make it happen, I mean, I think I'd love to have us live stream. I know it's sometimes you just can't get here in person for things, and that shouldn't mean that we can't make something accessible to you. So I think we're going to do our darndest to, make it accessible for everybody.
Yeah, and we're going to record it at the very least. So we're
Yes.
gonna figure that out, and so there will be some sort of virtual option for this. But obviously, way better to come in person if you at all can, because you're going to be able to ask questions. You're going to be engaging with other people. I mean, one of the great sort of things about Best Era is we draw in some amazing people. Like our community is just amazing. Whatever we charge for the ticket, like it would be worth it if you just came and met whoever's in that room.
Oh my
Because
gosh, yeah. Talk
there's some
about finding like your referral gold mine people. Like our community is it, I feel like. Just the most amazing, welcoming, supportive group of lawyers and lawyer adjacent people I've ever met.
and I'm gonna do something for this day. I'm gonna go out past my bedtime. I go to bed early, but we are doing this, and we're gonna have a Red Sox add-on. The good news for all of you is the Red Sox are terrible. They're playing terribly, and so tickets will not be hard to come by for us. But Fenway Park on a July night, and I think it's like a week after Noah Kahan plays there, so maybe his
Yeah, I'll be
vibes.
coming like back to back. Yeah.
Have you ever been in Fenway Park?
I've only been in, I was maybe in middle school. It's been that long. It's a long time ago. Not for a game. My family went for the tour that you can like
Yeah.
tour inside. So, I mean, I guess kind of cooler than almost a game because I got to go down on the field and all the things. So, yeah, I've been in and around Fenway, but not for a game. So, yeah, both the concert and the game in 2 weeks in a row, I'll have actually gone now.
It's a I saw Pearl Jam there, which you can see behind me. I saw Pearl Jam there, and it's a fantastic summer venue, for a concert. It's really great.
Excited.
So, when people are like, what do I do when I go to Boston? I was like, go to Fenway Park. Like that's really what you should do. So we will be having an add-on to go to Fenway Park and hang out and watch. I think the Red Sox play the Twins, or the Twins beat the Red Sox. However this is going to go this season. But regardless, it is something that I feel like should be bucket list for anybody. Catching a ball game at Fenway or Wrigley is just it's special
Yeah.
for sure. And even if you're not a baseball fan, it's just a beautiful venue to 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 see things. A whole lot of fun. So we're going to be doing that. Yeah, and I got it. This reminds me, like I feel pressure now because I've got to get my book done because we're going to
Yes.
give away my new book. Which I've had Claude help me with my lecture notes, but I've got to go through and I've got to be the human and I've got to make sure it says things that I actually want it to say. But I think I've got about 250 pages to go through, so it's a fair amount of. Uh, I guess the good thing is that I will be taking a number of flights in the next few weeks.
Yeah, so
Um,
you've got some homework.
got some homework to go through and scroll through and to create that book because I'm also giving the book next semester to my students, which I'm very excited about. So that way they actually have a textbook that sort of tracks my thinking. Because believe it or not, Brittany, one of those does not exist.
I think it's pretty hard to track your thinking most of the time.
It's going to be a really fun day, and I am a little intimidated, honestly, to be teaching for like 6 hours in a day. That seems like a lot. You elementary school students, I mean, elementary school teachers, high school teachers, massive amount of respect. I usually finish up like
You really got to be exact with your like bathroom breaks and lunch breaks and things like that.
the amount
It's
of
a lot.
energy that's involved because usually, like, I
Yeah.
teach. You've seen me
Yeah.
teach. Like,
Oh
I'm an
yeah. Oh
animated
yeah.
cat. Like, I have
Oh
sort of one
yeah.
gear, and
Hmm.
yeah, I,
And I
I
mean,
think
surprisingly, lawyers and elementary students are very similar in terms of the level of energy you have to match to keep them excited and engaged. Yeah, so I feel you. Oof, yeah.
yeah, so I think I'm gonna have maybe Marissa or Allison or you make sure that I always have espresso near me. Like, there's got to be a Starbucks there
Yes.
near
Maybe some
near
Red
Suffolk
Bull.
University.
We'll pull out the Red Bull.
I've got off Red Bull for
Did you
some
fall off
reason.
the Red Bull?
I
Okay.
did. I did, but that could be a little bit dangerous. But anyhow, I will be caffeinated. And I don't want to tell. Maybe I shouldn't say. I'm going to say it. But you know, one of the things when Bill Biggs was out speaking to my law school class, he's like, "How long do they go before they get bored?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, I look at them, and if they're glossing over for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I'm like, just drop an F-bomb. And that
Yeah.
that word,
You can't do that with elementary
you
school.
can't, you cannot.
One
But
difference there.
but I promise you at Suffolk, if I feel like you're bored, I will pull that lever to
Yes.
re-energize the room. But I'm just very excited to get to do it. I think I put an immense amount of work into this class. Like in many ways, like it's like my life's work in a lot of different ways, where I take a lot of different concepts and try to lay it out clearly as I can. And I think I have basically two skills in this world, one of which is like being able to take sort of complicated things and distill them into simple things. So I'm pretty good at that. And the other thing is like, if this guy can do it, anybody can do it. Appeal. So you're going to leave there not feeling overwhelmed or intimidated. You're going to leave there feeling empowered. And really, as an entrepreneur, I mean, like, it is a very exciting time with what is out there in terms of leverage, because all throughout my entrepreneurial life, in terms of starting businesses, including Best Era, didn't have the money to do it. So you have dreams and you have possibilities, and you're like, okay, well, I like this nice website, or I like this, but all of that takes money, and money takes time to gain, and that's a harder thing. But now, like, I mean, with Claude and AI, it's like, if you know what it is that you are doing and you have some understanding as to how it can get done, the barriers between idea and execution at very high levels are low. But you have to understand what you're trying to do, why you're trying to do it, what the theory and the principles are, and you have to be able to make decisions. But the ability to leverage that at such a low cost is incredible. And I always say that speed is the most underrated factor in business. And there's no excuse now. You can move very, very fast. I mean, even yesterday, like we did an intensive for a firm down in Texas, right? And we were talking about employee evaluations, as we do. Very hard for law firms to get to, particularly smaller firms. And by smaller firms, I mean firms under like 100 people, because they don't have the structure and they just don't have the bandwidth to do it. And so at Connecticut Trial Firm, we created like a one pager that had our values and some different things. And we always set like three goals for every employee. And, yesterday I was like, here, take these notes that we had from our meeting where we defined core values for a firm, and I want you to take their logo and put it into a fillable PDF and in this template format. And it did it, right? And I remember trying to get like a fillable PDF, like that was, hundreds of dollars on
God.
Fiverr for me, and going back and
Yes.
forth with people. And wow, I mean, and like the ability to do it, right? And it's wild, but you have to understand how you get there, right? Like and why that's important. And if I just gave out that template, it's not going to do anything.
Mhm.
But if you understand where it fits into a larger framework, it can change everything for you.
Yeah, absolutely right. Because, I mean, it was great to make that, but the work that had to happen before that was us actually sitting down for an hour of yesterday's meeting to actually figure out what those values were, right? That like went into the form. And that's the kind of hard work that can happen now. And then the things that can be created out of it can be the things that are expedited now because of the tools out there. So it's great. And that's what I love about our events too, as you said, and has always been a goal of our events is it's accessible, right? In the sense that, you know, you're not going into a conference where you're sitting down and listening to someone and having to think, I could never do that. That's great for that person. It's not talking about, ego, right? Here's all my big numbers and here's all the things I've accomplished. It's if I can do it, you can do it. There's nothing special, about us that no one else can replicate. And so, yeah, I think especially this event, all of ours are like this, but especially this one, I think is very much going to be that. Don't expect to sit there for 5 hours, 6 hours, and be sold anything or be told, you have to know these crazy extravagant concepts or have this magic number of money that is going to make you succeed and do the thing I did. It's going to be very much, laid out in layman's terms of anyone can do this.
Yeah, and one of our values is before we do anything, we ask ourselves, can we deliver 10 times return to our client or whoever's hiring us for whatever reason? If they pay us $100, I want them to get $1,000 in value. Like that's a core principle of ours. Look, I don't it's not it's not particularly measurable in a lot of different ways, but it's a sort of a good faith belief if we're going into something or we're doing something that whatever somebody pays us, they're going to get 10 times back. I know what we've talked about a little bit with the pricing on this. And yeah, we're doing a little bit of Noah Kahan teasing, but truly we don't know. There's some little other variables. But this is the kind of thing where people are going to get 100 to a X return on the investment of a day and whatever it is that we charge from the content alone, let alone who is in that audience. If you're out there and you're on the fence, please go for sure. And even if money is an issue for this, and we're trying to price it so it's not, you can send me an email at ryan@bestera.com, and you don't have to explain anything. But I would give you a scholarship. I can't give out 64 scholarships, but I would give out. I would.
We did a lot. A couple scholarships for Ryan because we knew we'd want to do this.
Yeah. Well, but it's important for us because part
Yeah.
of our vision or our destination is that we want to help, 15,000 firms in the next 5 years. And look, we do consulting. We do consulting at a very high level. We are not cheap consultants. We pour our heart into working with our private clients, but we understand that not everybody can afford that. Not everybody needs that. And we're very intentional about the engagements there. But when we do something like this, it moves us in our vision, which is really to have as much of an impact on the profession as we can possibly have as a small team.
Yeah, absolutely. Depending on when this episode airs, the tickets will either be live, which you'll be able to find for sure in the description below, or if not, probably very, very soon they will be live. So just, everywhere you follow us, just check back for those tickets. But you should be seeing them very soon.
Awesome. Yeah. Check our LinkedIn profiles. We've got links. We'll get that out there. We'll put it out. If
It'll
you're
be
not on our
everywhere.
email newsletter, you should be. We put out a ton of value there at absolutely no cost. So
Yeah.
you can.
I can add that link in there in the description too. There's an easy way to add yourself to our newsletters. We call them the Vault because, of
And
course,
like Noah Kahan, we do exclusive pre-sales. So all of our events go on exclusively in our community, which is $1.39 a day. It's a vibrant community of over 400 lawyers from around the world. There's a referral every day that goes on there for somebody needs some other kind of lawyer, really good cases. In fact, Josh Hodges was talking about how he got 2 great cases out of the group, join to add value and learn. But this is a sort of a side benefit. We don't get any cut of that or anything. It's just something that happens organically. We've got a massive library of back content. I'm so excited about today. We're doing an AMA with Aaron Frankel, who's an attorney in West Hartford, all about private equity and law, because Aaron deals with it in private equity and dentistry. And I think that that's a very analogous sort of model. So I'm excited to learn from him. You can ask people like Aaron whatever questions are on your mind. And you also get a very big back library of things. We were told by a consultant early on that we should charge for access to our back library. We have never done that. Maybe we at some point will, but we do an exclusive community presale. And this is honestly one that could sell out in our community. I don't know.
yeah, for sure. So with that, well, we already talked a bunch, I guess, about what we've been listening to. So everyone knows we've got Noah on repeat. Is there anything else you've been watching, reading, listening to?
Well, I'm just going to put in Noah on repeat for sure, but check out his Tiny Desk concert on NPR. You can view it on YouTube. So good. He's got 2 new songs in there. One was very Tom Petty to me. The other was very Turnpike Troubadours to me.
Yes.
He also plays Orange Juice, which is, I think, my favorite song of his. I really
Yeah, I
Love
think
that
that
song.
was like a slow burn for me. It wasn't something I ever really, you know, picked up on, you know, early on, but now, especially watching the documentary now and understanding more about his home life and his family and everything, it like hits different in understanding things. Yeah. So
And
Tiny Desk, also the documentary. I can't recommend it highly enough.
and for the documentary, if you have any sort of soul, maybe have a little bit of tissues near you.
Oh my god, yes. I made the mistake of watching it on an airplane and I had to
Yeah.
pretend like I wasn't crying during some of it. Yes,
Yeah,
tissues. Yeah.
there's some moments out there, but yeah, no, it's the Tiny Desk concert, and then, I think he also does Porch Light on that, and
Mm,
my sister-in-law was telling me that, like, Porch Light it's about his mom when he was going through, like, some mental health crises and substance use issues that she would leave the porch light on, and I'm just like, Noah Kahan's Tiny Desk concert, YouTube, watch, enjoy,
yeah.
I think you will.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. We'll catch y'all next time.